There's a moment every woman knows. You're standing in a dressing room. The lights are too bright. The mirror is too honest. And in your hand is a dress with a print so bold, so alive, so loud that a small voice in your head whispers, maybe something plainer would be safer. Safer, that word again. For years, decades, really, we've been taught that after 50, elegance means retreat. Smaller prints, darker colors, necklines that creep higher, sleeves that get longer, as if age is something to apologize for, as if a fuller figure is something to minimize, drape away, disguise. I want to tell you something today, and I want you to really hear it. You do not owe anyone a smaller version of yourself. And a floral statement dresses, yes, a bold one, yes, a beautiful one, might just be the most honest, most confident thing you wear this year. So stay with me, because today, we're doing something different. We're not talking about how to hide. We're talking about how to arrive. Welcome back to Elegance Fashion Style, the place where we believe, always, unapologetically, that true elegance is never about size. Today's episode is close to my heart because it challenges one of the last standing myths in occasion dressing, that fully figured women over 50 should reach for quiet, muted, forgettable florals, if they wear florals at all. I'm here to gently, firmly, lovingly disagree. We're going to walk through reception-ready floral statement gowns, real silhouettes, real necklines, real fabrics that are built for a woman who has lived a full life and is not interested in shrinking for anyone's comfort but her own. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how to choose a floral dresses that flatters your shape, honors your age with grace instead of apology, and makes you feel like the most striking woman in that reception hall, not despite your size, but in full, radiant partnership with it. Let's begin. Let's name the myth directly, because you cannot dismantle what you don't say out loud. The myth is this: bold floral prints are for young, slim bodies. Older, fuller bodies should wear small prints, dark solids, and safe silhouettes that don't draw the eye. Here is the truth, and I want you to really absorb this. Prints do not care how old you are. Fabric does not check your birth certificate before it drapes beautifully over your shoulders. A flower does not bloom smaller because it grew later in the season. If anything, the late bloomers are the ones that stop us in our tracks. What actually determines whether a floral gown flatters you isn't your age or your dress size. It's proportion. It's scale. It's how the print sits against your particular silhouette, and how the neckline and sleeve frame your particular face and arms. That's it. That's the whole secret. Once you understand proportion, floral prints stop being something to fear and start being something to wield, deliberately, beautifully, on purpose. So let's talk about how. Before we even talk about specific gowns, I want you to understand your own canvas, because every recommendation I give you today should be filtered through this lens. If you carry fullness through your midsection, you are going to look for florals with vertical movement, a trailing vine print, a botanical linework pattern that draws the eye up and down rather than side to side. Combined with a defined waist, even a soft, unstructured one, this creates length. If your fullness sits more through the hips and thighs, an engineered floral placement, print works beautifully, where the boldest blooms are, concentrated at the bodice and shoulders, drawing the eye upward, while the skirt flows in a quieter, complementary version of the same print, or a solid that echoes one of its colors. If you're fuller through the arms, and so many of us are, and there is nothing wrong with that, this is where sleeve choice becomes your best styling tool, not your enemy. A 3/4 sleeve in a soft floating fabric skims rather than clings. A bell sleeve or a bishop sleeve creates volume that flatters volume, matching energy rather than fighting it. And if you carry fullness evenly all over in that soft, generous way so many of us do as we mature, you have, honestly, the most freedom of all. Almost any floral scale can work for you, because there's no single area you're trying to minimize or redirect attention from. Your job is simply to choose a print whose mood matches the event. Do you see what we just did? We didn't talk about hiding a single thing. We talked about directing the eye, creating movement, and choosing fabric that respects how your body actually moves through a room. That is styling. That is not apology. Here's something rarely said out loud. Floral prints are one of the most forgiving categories in evening wear, and they get more flattering as we age, not less. Why? Because a well-designed floral print does something remarkable. It breaks up the eye's path across your body. Instead of the gaze moving in one long, uninterrupted line, it dances from bloom to bloom, from color to color. This is precisely the kind of visual movement stylists spend a fortune trying to recreate with darts and seaming. Florals do it for free, in fabric. Compare that to a stark, solid color in a bold shade. A solid can be stunning. Don't misunderstand me, but it also does something a print doesn't. It presents your silhouette as one continuous shape, with nothing to interrupt or soften the eye's read of your outline. For some women, in some fabrics, that's exactly the effect they want. But for many of us, especially in structured event settings like a wedding reception, a beautifully placed floral print gives you elegance and ease in the same gown. There's also something deeply psychological happening here, and I don't want to skip past it. When a woman over 50 chooses a bold, colorful floral gown, she's making a statement that has nothing to do with fabric. She's saying, I am still here. I am still vivid. I still take up space in this world. And I do so joyfully. That is not a small thing. That is, frankly, the whole point of getting dressed up in the first place. Let's get practical for a moment. Because fabric changes everything about how a floral print behaves on a fuller figure. A stiff, structured fabric, think heavy brocade or dense jacquard, will hold a print's shape crisply, which can be stunning for a fitted bodice, but can also add visual bulk if used through the hips and skirt on a fuller figure. Reserve those structured fabrics for panels, bodices or accents. A fluid fabric, a soft chiffon, a flowing georgette, a light crepe, moves with the body instead of against it. The floral print seems to breathe as you walk, as you turn, as you laugh at your niece's toast. This movement is enormously flattering because it keeps the eye engaged and moving rather than static. And texture matters too. A slightly textured fabric, a seersucker, a boucle, a piqué, adds richness and dimension to a floral print without adding bulk, because the texture itself catches and scatters light rather than clinging. My honest recommendation for reception wear, gown after gown, season after season. A midweight, fluid fabric with just enough structure to hold its shape through the bodice, releasing into soft movement through the skirt. That combination structure where you want definition, flow where you want ease is, in my experience, the single most universally flattering formula for a floral statement, gown on a fully figured frame. That is the entire philosophy behind everything we do here at Elegance Fashion. Style, not disguise. Not apology. Design, in full partnership with the body you actually have, at the age you actually are. So here's what I want you to take with you. You are allowed to be the boldest, brightest, most floral woman in that reception hall. You are allowed to wear a print with real presence, a neckline that opens rather than closes, sleeves that skim rather than hide. You are allowed to take up exactly as much space and exactly as much color as you want to take up. Fully figured doesn't mean hiding. It never did. It means dressing in true, deliberate partnership with the body that has carried you through every milestone worth celebrating in the first place. If this spoke to you, share it with a friend who needs to hear it before her next event. And if you want more looks like this, real, wearable, unapologetically beautiful, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, wear your color, wear your flowers, wear your fullness proudly.